Let me clear my throat. Oh gosh. Okay, put those dogs down. Okay. See, she loves you more. Like, she just sprawled out. Are you kidding me? I feed you, I birthed you, and she's obsessed with you. It is time because last time you met him on my podcast, he was being introduced as my boyfriend, Mr. B, aka his real name is Braden. But this time, he's being introduced as my fiancé.
Braden the fiancé.
Still feels weird to say that. Does it feel weird for you to say that?
No, I like it. I like it. A lot of people have talked about the difference between fiancé with one E and two E's.
Yeah, which is very much a French thing.
I'm not
American
French.
people do not differentiate between masculine and feminine.
No. But I'll take you one E, two E's, doesn't matter.
All the E's.
All the E's.
Well, welcome to the podcast, fiancé.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We have to tell our engagement story.
Ooh.
The people have been waiting to hear the whole thing. So let's get into it from your perspective. Tell us when you were going to propose. When was the idea you wanted to propose? The whole backstory before the ring even got here.
So in my mind, I always thought that I was going to propose after a year, March 29th, because we met March 29th at precisely 11:30 p.m. So I guess I always thought that I was going to propose after a year. So this all kind of started the night that we went to the comedy club. And we went out with a couple friends. And it was my first time meeting them. And after Allison, she looked at me and she said, "Listen, if you mess with her heart, people won't be able to recognize you when I'm done with you. But on a second note, you seem pretty great. So if you need a ring, let me know because I have a guy." I was like, that was quite the turn in the sentence. And so I was like, "I'll text you tomorrow." And so
Did you tell her that night that I'll text you tomorrow?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
And that just went over my head?
Yeah, we were walking down the street. It was after we left and we were walking down the street.
I did not hear you say I'll text you tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I messaged her on Instagram the next day and I was like, "Hey, I'm ready yesterday to get a ring for this girl." And she was so excited. And she's one of those texters where you get like 5 texts in a row and it was just bing, 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 bing. And yeah, she has a guy, and
she's also the same person I told you, I think in the car going home, I said, because we've had a conversation about getting engaged. It was already a very big topic of conversation. We had gone and looked at a ring, rings in general. One ring really stood out to me. It was a marquee, and we went to Brilliant Earth. It was the only place that we went to. And we checked it out, and I really liked it. And I was like, "Oh yeah, we'll probably go look for some other ring places." Unbeknownst to me that you were already in the works of something. But I had told you that night after the comedy show, I said, when it's time for you to start looking at engagement rings, I think you should reach out to Allison because she's a master communicator. She's also a master negotiator. She's got all the connections that you could possibly want. She's just a freaking rock star at everything she does. So reach out to her. And he already was planning on it, as I'm just finding out in this moment.
Yep. So I started messaging Allison, and immediately it was like too many messages over Instagram. And so I got her number, and then I had to change her name in my phone.
Yep.
Because I knew that
I
you
would
would
have figured that out.
Yeah. And so I had changed her name to Randy Thompson. So I was talking to Randy Thompson, one of my clients at work, a whole lot. And we literally, I think we texted every single day since the day of the comedy show, which was hilarious because there were moments when we had talked about her and I wanted to say different things, but obviously I hadn't spoken to your friend from the comedy club since that night. And so that was really fun for me. So we had started I had taken the ring from Brilliant Earth because we had found a lot of features of that ring that we both really loved. And with Allison, we were able to start designing. The jeweler has a CAD program where he could kind of tweak different things. And so we went back and forth and talked about, obviously the shape, the marquee diamond. But then we talked about different styles of gold, and we talked about, I really like the whimsical, what did you call it? The nature rope on the side.
Well, okay. It was the nature inspired line, but it is whimsical. That's a better word for it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So kind of, and it being dainty. And so we went back and forth just kind of designing this ring, and I was obsessed with it from day one, and Allison was so excited about it. And, but at the end of the day, I didn't think that the ring was going to be done until after Christmas.
Wait, and before you move on from the ring, you want to talk about what you decided to do underneath?
Yeah. So underneath the big diamond, there's a hidden halo. And so those diamonds are a little bit more rigid and kind of square. And so that was like my base letting you be the big diamond to shine. So that was something that, like, I thought the ring kind of told a story, which was really fun for me. And I
loved when you told me that. It made me tear up when you first told me that.
I'll always be your support, baby.
And you always have been. You've always been this person who is so secure in who they are and such a foundation that you shine all on your own. You are your own diamond. But to be like, I'm going to be the little diamonds and let you shine whenever you want to shine was what that felt. And it felt incredibly amazing to not only be loved in that way, but to be seen in such a way.
Well, I'm glad it hit home.
It very much did.
That was very, very important to me. And just the daintiness of it and the shine of the diamond. And we went back and forth with colors, and I learned a whole lot more about diamonds than I ever knew. And
you did absolutely perfect, might I add.
Well, thank you.
I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Can't stop looking at it. I'll be driving and I'm like, oh yeah, there she is, hanging out.
And that has been so fun for me to catch you just looking down at it.
All the time, randomly.
Yeah.
I'll be laying in bed. I'm like, ooh, hi, diamond.
Or like I'll say something excited. And you're like, remember, we're engaged. I think it's just any point we can bring up that you have a ring on your finger.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this my entire life. Yep. What do you mean? This is like the most exciting time ever. So I'm going to bring it up all the time. Okay, keep going with your story. And you didn't think the ring was going to be ready.
So yeah, so Allison and I had worked with Tom, and we came up with a final design, and I was thinking there was no way that the ring would be done before Christmas. And all of a sudden, Allison texted me one day and was like, oh my gosh, your ring's going to be here tomorrow. And so that kind of jolted everything into place, which the timing of that was hilarious because Allison got really sick and you had taken her a care package the day she had texted me that the ring was going to be there tomorrow. So you had been to Allison's house, and then the next day I was going to Allison's house to pick up the ring. And so I remember coming home and wanting to tell you about like how her pup looks like Remi or her cats are like Hazel. And I wanted to talk all about it, but obviously it was still very much part of the surprise. So couldn't do that yet.
And she didn't. When I was over there, she did not let on any surprise. She did not let on anything that was happening. I had zero clue that anything was happening.
And there's a coffee shop by her house, and she was like, does Morgan have your location? And I was like, yes. And she was like, just tell her like you just went to go get coffee. It wasn't anything, So she had like backup plans.
And you just got really lucky that I didn't happen to like look at your location at that time. Yeah. I don't ever really look at it unless you're coming home from work and I just want to follow you on the way home to see when you're going to be home.
And I had to go during my work day. Like I just popped over there because I knew that if I went like on my way home from work or something, you were going to be, where are you going? Why aren't you coming home to me?
I get excited when you come home.
Right.
It's my favorite time of the day.
And so obviously the second that I learned that the ring was on its way, all of a sudden I was like, I'm going to be in Wichita for Christmas. I'm going to be around her family. Maybe I can make something happen. And so my first text was to Seth, your brother-in-law, and I think I said, yo. He was
so casual.
He was like, what's up? And I said, can I call you on my way home from work today? I got something big. And so I called him and I explained the situation. I was like, I didn't think I was going to get the ring. And I said, I know we're only like a week out, but I'm going to see if we could throw something together here. And I said, are there any family traditions that you guys have done, like any special moments that maybe I could incorporate into my proposal? And I had kind of told him, so my 4 things I was looking for. I wanted your family involved. I wanted a beautiful scene. I would love for Remi to be involved. And the biggest one was I wanted it to be a surprise.
Because surprising me is a very difficult thing to do.
And I love surprises. Even small things, I want to be surprises for you. Like I'll make you close your eyes with silly little things. And you'll say, what are we doing? But so this I wanted to be a huge surprise. And I felt like all of a sudden now that the ring was on the way, I was like, if I don't propose over Christmas, I feel like anything after that, it might become not an expected thing, but something you might suspect. So like if you got into Valentine's Day or like our 1 year, if we weren't engaged by our 1 year, like you've known I've been ready for this for a long time. So it was like, I didn't want you to expect it. I didn't want you to ever ask me the question like, hey, should I get my nails done this weekend because we're going on that trip? Or, like I didn't want any aspect of that. And so I told Seth kind of my 4 non-negotiables and he was like, there's a perfect spot. He said, it's called Botanica. It's in Wichita. It's a bunch of Christmas lights and it's something that the family does every year. And he's like, I think it could go great. I was like, okay, sweet. So kind of started researching there. And like later that night, he texted me and he was like, bro, we got to loop Taylor in on this.
Which is my sister.
Yeah. And because I wanted it to be a surprise for as many people as possible. So your sister, your mom, Sarah, your other sister, and your dad, I still needed to talk to. So my whole plan for this trip was originally I was going to talk to your dad about proposing to you for our 1 year. So I was immediately kicking myself that I didn't talk to your dad over Thanksgiving.
When they were here visiting.
Yeah, because they were here. So like all of a sudden, all these things were coming together. And Seth, he was like, dude, we got to bring Tay in.
Which was really funny because you probably hadn't realized, but I had helped him with their engagement. Mm-hmm. I had helped orchestrate some of that and I was very much involved with him. He did a lot of the planning himself. I just kind of put certain pieces together for him. And so it was kind of cool for both of us to be in on each other's engagement ahead of time. And you had no idea that. Yeah. Like, that was not a story I'd come out and told you. It was like never came up in conversation. And it was really cool now after it for us to both have been involved in each other's engagements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he shared a little bit after we started the conversation that you had helped. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. The give and take. And so we looped Taylor in. And then from that day forward, I was on the phone every day coming home with Taylor, and they were wonderful. They went out to Botanica a few days early, and they took pictures for me so I could envision where the different shots would be. And so then, as the plan progressed, it was like, okay, all of this is happening. And then the day that I picked up the ring, my mom was here staying with us. And so when you were upstairs and you were doing your sauna mat, I knew you were trapped in there for 25 minutes. And so,
a little hot pocket time.
Yeah, your hot pocket time. And so I grabbed the ring and I run downstairs my mom was in the next room. So I was like, Mom, come here. And so we went downstairs and I got to show my mom the ring, and she was just so excited for us. And it was a super emotional moment for my mom and I, and knowing you were just upstairs was kind of sneaky and special too. And so, and then we're walking back up the stairs.
Wait, so did your mom say anything to you when this was all happening? Were you guys like both crying? What was that moment like? Because I didn't get to be a part of that moment.
Yeah. So I basically, cause it's funny. We had conversations and she had said the phrase, like, I can see where this is heading, kind of going towards marriage. But we had never like really talked about it. And so, I had the box and I was like, Mom, I really want to show you something. And I took out the box and she was like, oh my gosh. And I opened it up, and then she saw the ring and she said, oh my gosh, again. And she was like, buddy, I'm so happy for you. Like I just remember her. It's funny. I kind of blanked out during that conversation with my mom, and then I blanked out a little bit during the proposal. We'll get to that. But yeah, she was super excited for us. And I think there was a sense of, like, my boy found his person, and I think that's a special moment for any mom. Mm-hmm. And then I put the ring in my pocket and we're walking back up the stairs, and wouldn't you know, hot pocket time is done. And who's standing at the top of the stairs? And my mom, Mama J, you are a rock star and I love you. We walk up the stairs and my mom instantly like brings you down the hallway so I can, because I was like, where am I going to put this ring?
Panic, instant panic.
And so then I snuck into the room and I went to my little hiding place and I hid my nice little blue box. And
that was also pretty foreshadowing, because now that you guys are going to hear the like moments leading up to the proposal, I was very inquisitive, very aware, very in his space everywhere when things were trying to happen. So that was kind of foreshadowing.
Yes. Multiple times. Yeah, it was very fun to navigate all the obstacles that went through, because everything got smashed into such a small window. Because we're talking a week maybe where all of this happened, and then it was got to get this done, and at each moment there were small little hiccups of you trying to be inquisitive. And
not intentionally. I'm just inquisitive naturally. That's my instinct of just asking questions, and I want to know what you're up to and what you're doing. So I just didn't know what was happening. So I obviously couldn't avoid the questions and ruin my own surprise. But I didn't ruin my own surprise.
No, you didn't.
The ring was in his bag going to Wichita. Didn't know that.
Yep.
It was traveling with us the whole time. Mm-hmm. And then we get to Wichita.
And we woke up real early, because it's basically whatever time you leave is what time you're going to get there. So
yeah, it's about like 10 and a half hours from here if, on a good day, if this guy doesn't pee 80 times on the road trip.
I like water. I like to stay hydrated. So we're driving there, and I'm thinking to myself, I just have to get Terry alone. Yeah, I got to get your dad alone. And so.
Well, and just so everybody knows, like, he could have tried to take him out to dinner or lunch, but he has me as his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I instantly would have known what was happening. There would have been no shot for him.
There's a 0% chance that, and again, surprise is the biggest thing. So anything to tip you off, like, and especially going that far and setting everything up, then to give it away like that I would have been really bummed. I know we would have still been very happy, but I would have been bummed that I lost my surprise. And so we get there and we're getting settled in, and they have this gorgeous backyard with all these trees and everything's lit up, and they have a whole zoo of squirrels and raccoons that they feed. And
not they, my father specifically.
Way to go, Terry. I love it. And so I'm like, how can I get Terry alone? And so you had gone downstairs to go grab something. And I was like, Terry, I've been hearing all about this backyard. You got bird watchers, you know, the raccoons and squirrels. And I kind of stood up, like, hey, Terry, come with me. So we go out back, and he's talking all about his trees and the different animals that are back there, and, you know, some memories. And I'm kind of gearing up. I'm planting the seeds to get to, you know, talking about his daughter. And what do you know? A cute little blonde pops her head out the door and goes, "What are you two talking about?"
Naturally.
And I'm like, "Hi, babe."
You're like mid-panic about to have a very important conversation, and I'm just, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?"
And even like the phrase of your question, I was like, oh, I hope I didn't tip her off. Like, because you're like, what are you guys talking about out here?
Well,
and
you guys were out on the deck together, like looking at the backyard. I was like, bunch of weirdos out here. What's happening?
Right. And so you hang out for a second, and then you get my telepathic hint to go back inside.
No, I was just bored.
I know.
I was bored with whatever you guys were doing. I was like, okay, this is stupid.
And you go back inside, and you don't shut the door, and you're sitting right inside the door. And I'm like, do I whisper it? That's weird. I don't want to do that. And so the conversation kind of fizzles, and Terry's like, want to head back in? And I'm just like feeling so defeated. And so we go back inside, and that entire night I was just staring at the ceiling. I don't know when I'm going to get Terry alone.
Because the proposal was happening the next night.
The proposal was happening, yes, on the 23rd. We got there on the 22nd. And so that next morning, after a night of zero sleep, I'm taking Rem out. We take the dogs out front. And so I took Remi outside, and I'm just sitting there waiting for her to go potty. And all of a sudden I hear like bags rustling, and I didn't realize that I was standing behind the garage, and the garage was open. And wouldn't you know, Terry is just making it back from the gym. And so we start chatting, and I was still like, didn't have coffee. I was real tired, and I probably scared him a little bit. I was like, all right, Terry, well, since I have you alone, I'd love to talk to you about this. And
it's like 6:30 or 7 in the morning or something like that. I was still sleeping.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't slept, so I was a little sleepy. And but I just told him, I said, you can't even imagine how much I love your daughter. Like, she is the most wonderful person who completes me, and just went off about all the mushy gushy stuff that.
Did he tear up when you were talking?
No, he didn't tear up in that moment, probably because he was not expecting a "can I marry your daughter" conversation that early. But his first initial reaction was, "Oh, wow. Wow."
Which is very much my dad,
Wow.
if you know my dad.
Yeah. And yeah, he just talked through it, and he was like, your guys' relationship, like, you guys are so good together, and I've never seen my daughter this happy before. And it was a really sweet conversation. And I said, with your permission, I would love to, ask for your daughter's hand in marriage. And he gave me a big hug. I don't even know if he ever said yes. Like he gave me a big hug, and I said, I just want you to know that I'm going to take care of your daughter. And he kind of hit me in the shoulder, and he said, I'm going to hold you to that.
Also my dad.
Yeah.
And for sure he had to have said yes. I think you blacked out a little bit in that conversation too.
Yeah, that conversation was a little...
Because we talked to him after, and he's like, yeah, I said yes. I was like, what else did you say? He's like, well, I gave him a hard time. He thought he was being funny.
His hard time was, I'll hold you to it, which is what a dad should say, Mm-hmm. And then he asked if he could tell your mom. And I was like, I really would like Jeanette to be surprised if you can keep that secret. And he said, okay, well, when are you doing it? And I said, I also want to keep that a surprise. And so, cause I wanted to have that conversation with him, but I think there's something special about surprises. And so, little did he know that I had a whole plan for that night. And so, we walked back inside and, acted like nothing was happening. And,
well, you want me to add the wrinkle in here too that also exists? That is the peacoat.
Oh, the peacoat.
Because the peacoat is a huge little wrinkle in this whole story. So
it's a main character in the story, honestly.
We're the main characters. It's a wrinkle.
It's okay.
Okay. It's like it's the anti-hero.
It's the comedic relief for sure.
Okay.
It's the comedic relief character.
So it was, probably about a month and a half prior to Christmas. He had ordered a peacoat off of Amazon, and it showed up at the house. He was really excited about it. And I was like, oh yeah, that looks good. But like, sometimes you get something from Amazon and it's like either really great quality or like really crappy quality. And this was kind of in between. I was like, a peacoat should be really nice. You're going to use it all the time. You're going to wear it for the rest of your life. It's one of those kind of staple closet items. And if you really like this, let's look at getting you one for Christmas. And both of our parents had been asking kind of for Christmas lists. And so I was like, I'll just send this to my parents as an option for one of your Christmas gifts. And he's like, okay, great. I thought the conversation was dead and we're good. That's cool. Great. This is awesome. It wasn't. So as the weeks followed, he kind of kept putting on this peacoat, and it was like, okay, I really want this peacoat. Like I'm going to keep it. And he kept kind of saying that. I was like, I thought we already had a conversation dead end. Like this is over. Well, the peacoat's still at the house come Christmas time, and we're packing up, getting ready for us leaving. And he's like, I think I'm going to bring the peacoat. I was like, the hell you are going to bring that peacoat? I asked my parents to get you that for Christmas. And like, I bet they're going to get it for you. So you should probably not show up to the house with the peacoat the exact same. And whatever. So he still is going to pack it. And I'm like, okay, here's the deal. You just can't wear it until at least after Christmas, because we don't need this awkward thing of like you wearing a peacoat and it was something you asked for Christmas and it's just awkward.
And if your parents are getting me a peacoat, why would I wear that peacoat after Christmas? So like in your mind, like it doesn't, none of it made sense.
Well, my thought process was like, okay, we're just going to send that peacoat back after he gets the other one, because it'll be a little bit nicer, better quality, and he'll be over this other peacoat. For whatever reason, he had attached himself to this peacoat. And so he brings it, and we're there, and it's the morning of the proposal, and I see this damn peacoat laying out on the couch in front of everybody. And my eyes, like, I literally was like, am I missing something? Like, what conversation did we not have? Did I have that in my sleep? Did I not have that with him? And so we get in the car. The peacoat has been out. And we get in the car, and I just look at him. I'm like, why is the peacoat out? I thought you weren't supposed to bring it out until after Christmas. And he's like, well, I was talking to your mom, and she was offering to like help with any laundry if we need anything. And I really needed that steamed. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not supposed to wear it until after Christmas anyway. And he's like, I think I saved it. It's fine. We're fine. And I'm like, whatever. And I literally looked at him. I was like, do you not listen to me? Did we just have a conversation and you just completely forgot about it?
And that conversation on the way to the grocery store was almost like it was a level of respect of like, do you not listen to me when I speak? You know, like it was a heavier conversation where it was just a lack of respect or like, I don't understand your actions right now. Can you please explain them to me?
Well, because whenever we have conversations, we're very much like once we settle something, we're on the same team, like we're on the same page. And so it was very out of character for you when we've had all these other conversations before, and this one was just like not tracking. And I was baffled was the best way I can describe it. Like I was just baffled by the entire situation. And so I'm annoyed, if you will. And we go grocery shopping and we're still like, I'm annoyed to the fact of just like the stupid Peacoat, but we go grocery shopping. We're like having fun. We're dancing in the aisles of the grocery store and like just enjoying ourselves or whatever. We go back home to get ready for going to Botanica, and we're like sitting there and getting dressed and whatever. And he makes some comment and he's like, I think I'm going to be really cold tonight. And then I was like, just wear the stupid Peacoat. I'm like, I'm so over this stupid Peacoat. Just wear it. I give up. Hands up. I don't know what it is with this Peacoat, but hands up.
And I'm like, yes.
So now you can tell the Peacoat side from your story.
So the Peacoat that I had ordered, you know, I had tried it on and we did all that. And it was like, okay, we'll send it back. Well, then the ring's going to be ready. And all of a sudden, I need to start thinking about what I'm going to be wearing when I propose. So I'm going through every jacket that I own because I know it's going to be cold. And that dang Peacoat has a ring pocket right there. And I'm like, this is the only thing, like my jeans, you'll be able to see. Like, I don't want someone else holding it the whole time. And like, I couldn't picture it any other way. And so I needed that Peacoat was the only option. Even after we went to the grocery store, I'm thinking to myself, like, if she tells me that I cannot wear this Peacoat, I don't know what I'm going to do. And so I just let it go. And once I said that I was going to be really cold and you were like, just wear the dang Peacoat, I was just like,
like I had something that was stressing me out because I was just trying to avoid, awkwardness of a gift. And it was also stressing him out in return because this whole proposal was centered around this Peacoat pocket and him having the ring in it. So we were literally stressing each other out. And I had no idea that this was happening over this Peacoat. But you did, and you got to wear it.
I got to wear it.
And also come Christmas Day, a Peacoat was one of his presents.
A way nicer, not $40 Peacoat from Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden I had two Peacoats. It's Peacoat rich.
Well, we sent it back and we got you another color of that one because nobody needs two black Peacoats. And now the Peacoat that you have that I was like, hey, send back is now a memento of our proposal and we can't possibly send that back. So
I want to put it in the shadow box.
I know you do. Because it's
put it up right there.
Part of our story now. The Peacoat that almost had us in our biggest fight. We really haven't had any like fights. We've had disagreements and we've had conversations. But like that Peacoat was like nearing maybe a moment of where we were going to have a big disagreement.
Well, and we don't fight because we communicate so well. Mm-hmm. Like, and you're really good at like, let's talk this out. Like, let's use communication as a tool. And in that moment, communication couldn't be a part of it because it was me acting dumb, being like, I'm sorry, I didn't know what to do. Your mom was asking me if I had laundry. Like I didn't know what to say. Mm-hmm. And so that was a more uncomfortable conversation just because we couldn't fix it with our tool of communication.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. And that was something like very early on in our relationship that I had mentioned to him. And a lot of the things I've learned and the experiences I've had, I said, hey, we always have to talk about things. Like, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's not fun, because resentment is one of the number one reasons that people don't end up either happy or they end up divorced. And it's because people don't say what they feel and they don't talk things out and they don't have important conversations when it's necessary. So that was very much something that was early on in our relationship. I said, if this is going to work, then you have to tell me how you feel. And it sucks if I do something to hurt your feelings, or if, there's something we don't agree on, but I'd much prefer us to have that conversation up front and just handle it than you sit there for 6 months and be like angry at me and I don't even understand why. So that is very much a foundation of our relationship. So when the situation of the Peacoat was happening, I was just that's why I say baffled, because I was like, this is not how we operate. We hear each other. We respect each other. We know how the other person feels, and we take that into account, and none of those things were happening. And so I was just like, I don't understand. Like my whole brain was like almost exploding, because I was just like, is this a moment where everything goes wrong and now he's like this horrible person? Like what is happening?
And I'm just trying to propose. Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah. So that was the Peacoat.
Mm-hmm.
And the Peacoat drama that led us up to the proposal.
Yeah. So I had part of Tay and Seth being a part of the proposal was finding a photographer. And so we get into Botanica. We were the first people in line. It was like rope drop at Disney. And we get in there. And
which also, mind you, it was really funny that we were that early, because we were all standing there and we're like, dang, we've never been early enough to anything when we're waiting in line to get in. Like, right. We always show up like way too late. We're at the end of our time that we go in. It was a very noticeable difference that we were standing in line waiting to get in because the place hadn't even opened yet. And that is not a Hulsman family trait. Mm-hmm. We normally show up things late. Mm-hmm. as a family unit. So it was very unusual. That was like, I look back and I see that unusual. Taylor was very specific about us being on time. She was
a real one for keeping us on schedule.
Yeah.
And so we had to be on schedule because I had hired Stacy to do some photography. And so she was going to jump out of the bushes and take our photos. So something really special that Stacy did was she brought along a videographer as well. And so we were getting in the park and I was supposed to immediately go to the bathroom and meet Aaron, the videographer, to put a microphone on. And so me being the guy who pees all the time.
Mind you, he had also just peed before we left. He was just in the bathroom 20 minutes prior to this.
And so we get in and I'm like freaking out because I'm about to go meet the videographer. And like, once I have a mic on, then that's going to feel really real.
Game time is on.
Yep. And so ring in the Peacoat pocket. I go in the bathroom and we get in the park and I go there's a bathroom like right at the entrance. And I see a little child and I see a very old man.
Which, by the way, as this is happening, we walk into the park. He looks at me. He's like, I have to go to the bathroom. And again, I'm like, broski, you literally just peed. What? You really have to pee again? You haven't even had any water. What's going on? And he was just like, I have to go. And I was like, okay, all right. Another thing and I use the word broski when he does something silly.
That's when I know I'm in trouble is when I hear broski.
I'm like, broski, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Broski, are you kidding me? And I'm like, yeah, I gotta pee. I'm sorry. So I go in there, little child, very old man. Neither of them looked like they could work a video camera very well.
They were not, in fact, the videographer.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't even know what the videographer looks like. Like, what's going on here? And so I just like look in the mirror and I'm like, well, here we go. And I go back outside, which then your dad shared with us that he had an idea of everyone lining up in a line outside of the bathroom what, cheer me on as I came out?
Give me an applause as you came out of the bathroom.
Yeah, so that would have hit even harder. I probably would have just turned bright red. And so I come out and I look at Seth and I'm like, he wasn't there. And he was like, wrong bathroom. And so family starts kind of walking, and I was like, should we like go get a beer? Because we had to go to the bathroom that was on the other side of the park. And he was like, yeah, we'll go get a beer. And so we go to start walking away, and you're probably like 50 yards away by now because you were done with broski. You were done with me. And Seth was like, wait, she's looking, walk towards them. And so we just start walking, and I'm like, I'm freaking out. And, oh, I lied. I said I had the ring in my pocket. At that point, Seth still had the ring, which was another tip off, because when we were leaving, I was like, oh, I need to go back downstairs. And so I went downstairs and I had Seth follow me.
Yeah, you tried to say that you needed to put a belt on.
Oh, I took my belt off. That's what it was.
You did, and I was like, you literally just had a belt on. I had recognized that he did have a belt on at one point, but he had taken it off in between the time I had seen him in there. So he was like, I have to go back downstairs and put a belt on. I was like, you literally just had a belt on. Again,
it's like I took it off when I was changing. I forgot to put it back on. I thought I was smooth about it. Apparently not.
Well, and also when you were down there sitting in the bedroom, you were sitting on the bed with your eyes closed and just kind of looking. And I walked in. I was like, "Are you okay? Is something wrong? What's happening?" And I was like really concerned about him, that something was not okay.
And I was literally reciting what I was going to say when I was proposing, and she's giving me a hard time about keeping my eyes closed sitting on the edge of the bed.
I was worried about you. I've never in my life seen you do that. Yeah, you don't do Zen things like that. So I was very much like, are you okay? Like, are you upset? Is something wrong? And I was very concerned about you. And you responded, I'm contemplating my outfit. I was like, okay.
I was thinking about Peacoats.
The Peacoat. So
I go back downstairs. I have Seth follow me, and I give him the ring, and we go back in we go back in their expedition, and he goes to get in, but he puts his big coat on because he was holding the ring box. And I know that you had said it was kind of weird that he put his coat on because he runs at 1,000 degrees all the time. He's always hot.
Oh yeah, I picked up on that. When he came back, came back from inside the house, as he said he went to the bathroom, and he comes back inside, gets in the car, and he grabs his coat, puts it on, and I was like, that's a little strange. This dude is 1,000 degrees literally always. He's always hot. And so I was like, you're putting on your heavy coat jacket while we drive. Normally you never. It's always hanging over the seat. So I recognize that. Yeah. Again, though, I'm seeing all of these things because I'm very perceptive. I'm very aware of what's happening around me. I'm very perceptive of the people in my life. But I was not putting anything together. Nothing was fitting like a puzzle piece. I wasn't putting the pieces together that something was happening. I was just recognizing things that were off.
Yeah, we overcame adversity.
You did. You guys never tipped me off.
Right.
I was recognizing things, but again, was not tipped off to what the actual surprise was.
So we end up following you guys, and we're walking around, and we get to the big tree, and it has all the different LED lights, and it goes to the music, and all of a sudden Taylor looks back and was like, "Do you guys want a photo here?" And all of a sudden I was like, "Did I get this wrong? The spot that I thought we were going to is not this spot." And so I freaked out. And so you walked ahead, and I look at Taylor and I'm like, "Are we doing this right now?" And she's like, "Oh, no." Poor Tay thought I was mad at her, but I was just freaking out inside. I was like, "Are we doing this right now?" And so we go, and so I had grabbed a ring from Seth when she asked if we were doing photos, because I thought maybe it was happening then. So then we go and take photos in front of that tree, and you kept trying to grab me, and I was trying to not let you like at one point you wanted to be on the opposite side, but you were going to be pushing up against it. And so I had to like swing around you. And so survived that photo.
Mm-hmm. And I had taken a picture of my sister and brother-in-law with their new baby Collins. It was her first time at Botanica. And I was like, hey, you guys want a picture together? And I was about to take Taylor's phone. And she was like, no, take Seth's phone. His is new. And I was like, yours is new also. Whatever. And then I just like take it. But it was because Stacy, the photographer, was texting my sister. Mm-hmm. And if I would have seen Stacy texting my sister, I would have also figured it out. Mm-hmm. There's just so many things. Right. They were playing the thing. So also avoided it there and then continue.
Yeah. So we keep walking through the park and all of a sudden we figured out what bathroom the videographer was in. And so I needed a little time to go and meet him and get mic'd up. And so Taylor became obsessed with the tulips. There's...
Again, another thing that tipped me off. One is when you guys were going to this bathroom, Taylor was like looking around. And I was like, who are you looking for? We're all here. She's like, Sarah, which is our other sister. I was like, okay, whatever. And then she was like, okay, also like, it's going to get really busy here and I want to go see the tulips, which are new. And I was like, we'll get to them eventually. We're going to be there. She's like, but it'll be really busy later. And I was like, okay, we're going to the tulips, which mind you, when we normally go Botanica, we just walk the path. We just do the normal thing. So her being crazy about these tulips, I was like, what is going on? And then you guys were gone like half of the time in the beginning because you were either in the bathroom getting a drink, finding another place to get a drink, going to a different bathroom. And I was just like, I don't understand what's happening. And I'm just wandering aimlessly through Botanica, completely unaware that I'm about to be proposed to.
So I get to the bathroom and I'm waiting out there and I'm just kind of sitting there waiting for someone to pop out and say, oh, hey, Braden. Well, fast forward 5 minutes later, the dude that I had been standing next to, all of a sudden, Seth was like, I think that's a videographer. And I like look at him and he's like, oh, are you Braden? And I was like, are you Aaron? And it like, so finally we had clicked. Just been sitting there. Yeah. And so pop the microphone in under my shirt. And we were on our way back to the tulips, and we had walked around a little bit, and then I was thinking I had a little bit more time. I was like kind of calming all my nerves from overcoming everything, and we turned the corner, and all of a sudden, boom, we are there, and I had a beer in my hand, and
you set it down, which also tipped me off because I was like, you never set your beer down when we take photos.
Right. And so I set the beer down and we took a couple photos. So Taylor was taking photos on her phone. Mm-hmm. And then you saw someone pop out.
Yes, I saw Stacy, the photographer. So Stacy and I went to high school together. She's also been on this podcast before, and she's done incredible work in all kinds of photography, but particularly weddings and engagements and everything of the like. And so our family's kind of all standing watching us take the photo, which was not abnormal because the tree's kind of down low and you go take a photo and you trade off or whatever. So my family was all right there, and Taylor's taking this photo of us, and I see Stacy's head pop out behind my dad. And I was like, is that? Because again, if I saw her face there at that moment, I was going to put it together. But as soon as I finally figured it out, you were getting down on one knee. Mm-hmm. So I didn't even have the split second to like not know that it was coming. It was happening right then and there.
Mm-hmm. And then it was the moment.
I
got down on one knee and I had been reciting in my head over and over what I was going to say. And I got about halfway through it. And I definitely started tearing up. And
I was tearing up from the beginning. After I said to you, what are you doing when you were getting down on one knee? Then there was just tears in my eyes. And I was just like, I'm just going to stand here so I don't start sobbing uncontrollably.
And it was... It felt magical with the white lights and the Christmas tree, and we love Christmas so much. And I know I was kind of just lost in that moment. And yeah, just lost it a little bit right in the middle. And I just said, I want to do everything with you. And
did you write down things that you wanted, like this speech? Did you write it down?
Mm-hmm.
Is it in your notes app on your phone still?
Mm-hmm.
You want to say what you had like planned to say?
Yeah.
Because I know you got most of it
prepared.
out, but there was things that you wanted to add in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want me to just read the whole thing?
Yeah. If you want to. You feel comfortable with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. You should say it. Yeah. He's getting ready. The eyes are welting.
All right. Here's what I actually had. When I say I love you more, it's not a competition. I've loved you more each and every day since the night I met you, March 29th at precisely 11:30 p.m. My heart stopped searching for its match the moment I met you. I want to spend the rest of our lives together hand in hand. I want to laugh and I want to cry. I want to succeed and fail. I want to travel across the globe and watch movies on the couch. I want to snuggle with Remi and love on Miss Hazel. I want to be adventurous and lazy, and I want to sing songs with all the wrong lyrics and dance everywhere we go. I want to experience everything this life has to offer as long as I have one thing, you. Morgan, will you marry me? You can't cry. You can't be all teary.
I can't help it. It's so perfect. So you're all teary-eyed.
I know.
It's like you're proposing all over again. And Remi's snoring on the couch next to us while it's happening.
Remi's here for this one. She's here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was you couldn't have said any of it better, and all of it was very self-explanatory, but the fact that I sing the lyrics wrong to every song. He loves music. Braden is very much a music connoisseur, if you will, and he loves to listen to music and play songs, and sending songs to each other is very much his love language. And I will get in the car and he'll play songs, and I can't for the life of me remember lyrics. So I have very much turned into my father who does this, and now I just make up my own lyrics. So it's a common theme.
And I just whenever she changes the lyrics, I just go remix, baby. I'm just
Which
the
is
DJ.
Often.
Yep. It'll be like from another room too. I'll hear you. You got the words wrong to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star the other day when you were singing to Collins. I'm just like, remix, baby.
I cannot remember lyrics by myself anymore. And I have fully turned into my father. And that never used to be the case until about 3 years ago. So I don't know what happened. I used to be really good actually at memorizing lyrics. Probably COVID and all my issues with COVID. But not anymore. So it actually has turned into a fun love language for both of us. Mm-hmm. And that's the only one that's in there that's not self-explanatory, if you will, but I loved it. You said everything that I ever wanted to say, and gosh, that moment I was so teary-eyed, not just because of what you were saying, because you've said and have reiterated all of those things a million times over to me in the times that we've been dating, but more than that, you just, in every single capacity, make me feel seen. You make me feel loved. You make me feel understood. And as you're getting down on one knee, I was like having this realization where I was like, it's finally happened. I finally found the person that I've been wanting and searching for and not settling for and not giving up till I found this person who I knew existed, but was so hard to find. And you being down on one knee in front of me, all of that was just like circulating in my brain as I'm also listening to you, and I'm crying, and I'm just trying to like realize how incredible that moment was for me. And for you, for all the things that you've been through and the experiences that you've had. And we're both sitting there and just like, we've had our hearts torn apart. And to finally be in this moment where it was so perfect and so us and so just full of love in every capacity, I genuinely, my heart was melting in every sense. And you did everything so perfectly, even though I really tried to crash it at every turn unintentionally. And the fact that I also did so many things to make it even harder on you. And you just were like rolling with every punch is the definition of who you are as a human being, of just, you've always rolled with everything and you love me in every single way that I am. And I was every single way that I am on our proposal day.
Which is perfect. And
it was. And it was just, everything about it was so perfect. And you couldn't have done better if you tried, honestly. And it was funny because he recites what he's going to say, and he gets done and he asks me to marry him, and I say, yes, of course. I'm crying. You can't really hear it. And I'm like, yes, of course. Of course I'll marry you. And then I like force him to get up, and I'm like, hug me, kiss me. That's all I care about right now. Like, I just want to hug you. And you hear me say yes a million times yes in this kind of moment. And we're hugging, and it's such a sweet moment. And then he kind of pulls back from me and he's like, did you want the ring? And I was like, yes, I very much do.
At that point, I hadn't even opened. So I opened the box as you were saying, like, come up and hug me. And so it's funny, you can see in some of the pictures I'm hugging you and the ring box is open. You hadn't even looked at the ring, which is awesome for me because it's like, oh, you love me. You're not just looking for a diamond, like.
Not even close. Like, I was so happy of everything else that like the diamond was such a second thought for me. Mm-hmm. It became the main thought, obviously, after it like was happening, and he put it on, and I was like, holy crap. There's a photo where I literally am like, I think I said holy crap like 25 times in the whole process, where I'm just looking down like, holy shit, there's a ring on my hand. And he did amazing and all the things. But in that moment, no, nothing else mattered. It was just you and me, and in that moment happening.
Which was a beautiful aspect of it for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then we got to go say hi to all of my family, and my mom was crying. My dad was crying. Taylor was so excited, and my other sister was crying. It was funny because it was the first moment you got to meet her. Mm-hmm. So same moment meeting him while also the proposal happens.
Yeah.
Within the stretch of about an hour and a half.
I was like, so nice to meet you. We're going to be a lot closer in a second.
And she was so excited because she's met him over FaceTime and stuff like that. We've definitely had a lot of conversations, and she's known all about you, and they've loved everything about you. So it felt like they already knew you, but it was funny that particular relationship was happening in that moment. Mm-hmm.
And then you dancing with Collins was one of my favorite parts of after. Saying, I'm a fiancé, I'm a fiancé.
I did do that. There's a little clip of me doing that. I'm like, I'm a fiancé. Yeah. And then, so we walked around Botanica, and I'm just like, at this point, I'm glazed over. There's too much excitement happening. I'm not really paying attention to the lights. And we're enjoying it, and it's beautiful and all the amazing things. We go home. Our first call is to his family. Mm-hmm. And we got to FaceTime and share all the exciting news with them and talk to them about all of it. And then we FaceTimed a bunch of our friends, and then we got to play games and hang out. And it was just, everything about it was perfect. Oh, and Remi.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're missing a big part of the story.
Because you wanted Remi there, you had tried a bunch of things to try and get her there, but it was not going to happen without, again, tipping me off. And if you haven't realized in this entire story, again, I figure out everything. I'm realizing a really bad trait sometimes. Great trait most of the time.
It's a good trait, just not when you're getting proposed to.
Yeah, or having a surprise in general. Yeah. So we get home from the proposal, and literally the first thing I say when I walk in the door, I was like, Remi, you're getting a permanent dad.
So I run to the bedroom as a permanent dad, and I grab a little dog toy that I had mailed to Taylor and Seth, and it was a little soft chew toy of an engagement ring. And I got down on one knee, and I asked Remi if she would be my dogter, and she sniffed the toy and ran away.
She didn't take the ring.
And then little Lola comes over and grabs
Which,
it.
if nobody knows the lore of Lola, Lola is a dog that I rescued from the streets in Nashville, and my parents ended up adopting her. So it was so ironic that she was the one that walked over and was like, yeah, I'll take that ring.
I'll take that.
And it was funny. I was like joking. Remi said no. Remi like definitely declined that. But had you put a treat in there, she would have said yes a million times over.
Yep. I should know my dog to her better
You
than
should
that.
have. You should have. But it was a hilarious video and moment of where he tried to propose, and it was really sweet. But Remi, just being Remi as she is so nonchalant. And if you're watching this on YouTube, which I hope you are, she's been laying in between us the entire time, touching both of us. She is
Sweet
just as much
girl.
obsessed with him as she is with me now, which is
A little
rude
bit more.
because I've had her for 10 years and he's been in her life for almost one. Rude.
Well, when you know, you know.
It was that way for both of us, so it's fine. And that's a big reason why I knew between Hazel and Remi, you were the perfect match.
My girls. I remember the first day that I said my girls.
To me, Remi, and Hazel. What day was it?
Well, I don't remember the exact date, but I remember texting it to you and saying something about my girls. And you're like, ooh, my heart just dropped a little bit. That was amazing.
Yeah, good heart drop.
Yeah,
amazing.
good heart drop. Yeah.
What was your favorite moment for the entire day engagement leading up to it? What was your favorite moment of all of it?
Oh gosh, there was something really special about watching you embrace both your parents. Like that hug with your mom and then your dad crying off to the side, and in between hugs you'd look down at your ring. And it was just like, it was so special, and it was just like this is happening. Like, this is it. We found our person. And it was just, the surprise happened. Family was there. So, family, a beautiful location. Sweet Rem, her time came later. And wait.
Yeah, and
Which order did I go?
surprise.
Surprise.
That's the one you're missing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You had them all.
So it just, I don't know, it just felt right. And after carrying around that ring, Allison said, she said, the moment you get that ring, it's just going to be burning a hole in your pocket.
And it was.
It being in the suitcase and it being hidden in the bedroom, and I don't know, then it was finally, and then calling my family. And I remember Ashton saying, like, I have a sister. And like, that was that, because Ashton and I are so close, and her being so excited.
And when we got home, not to forget this mention, your mom and sister had snuck into the house while we were gone and decorated.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And your sister commissioned somebody to make a really beautiful banner that said, congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Everly.
Mm-hmm.
And there was balloons everywhere and pretty cupcakes and a picture of us from our engagement night.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so sweet. Like genuinely the outpouring of love and congratulations, not just from our families and not just from our friends and everybody that was excited. Because what's so funny is any of our friends who have spent any significant time with us were not shocked in the slightest. Like, they were shocked because they were getting an engagement FaceTime. But it was like, oh yeah, we knew this was coming. This was going to happen. Like, there was not a single person who was like, oh yeah, we didn't know this wouldn't happen. And that was so cool. Like, all of those things and your family's reaction to welcoming me in and being so supportive of you and our relationship, and just welcoming me in the entire way of not just like in all of our meetings, but in every way. And them surprising us with that, and the love that we felt, again, also on social media too, of the outpour of people that were reaching out and wanted to show up and celebrate us, and just like genuinely overwhelms me in so many ways because it's such a cool community that both of us have created in our personal lives, you know, on my online life, my life with the show, and just all of it combined. There was so much love. There was so much support. And I felt so celebrated and so special in that moment. And I hope you did too.
I did. I very much did. I think one of the first messages I got was from my 6th grade teacher, Miss McKenzie. She's been a big fan of our relationship, and she called us a handsome couple.
We are a handsome couple.
We are a handsome couple.
We're also a beautiful couple.
Right.
We're also a gorgeous couple.
We're all of it.
Every single thing.
And so, yeah, it was, yes, the response was just so positive, and everyone was just so excited. And I know the people who have listened to your full story, like, people were just so excited for you. And that just makes me feel good that I'm the safe space. You know, like, that's huge for me.
You've been the safe space since the week we started hanging out. And I was reluctant to it in the beginning because I was like, there ain't no way somebody's going to finally come in and do this. I was pretty reluctant that it was ever going to happen. You know, I was very much in that headspace where there's just no chance. The person that I'm looking for doesn't exist. But genuinely, like, you getting down on one knee was that moment for me where I realized all of the times that I had been told so many different things, from you need to, bring your expectations down. You need to change this about your appearance. You need to go about it this way. You need to do this that way. You need to stop going on dates. You need to stop doing this. And meeting you was proof of everything that I had done correctly. Every lesson I learned, every experience that I had, every moment that led up to it, you were proof that I did everything that I was supposed to do for my life. Not necessarily for anybody else's, because everybody else's journey is different. But I did everything that was necessary for me to find the person that I was supposed to find, and that was you. And you getting down on your knee and that proposal happening, and I think my word vomit of what are you doing was so encapsulated by just all of the things that I was thinking in that moment, where I was like, holy shit, I have finally found it. I finally found the person that I fell in love with, that I realized was my person, that I realized was everything that I've ever wanted in a partner. And holy crap, I did it. I went from being the girl who is sitting in my therapist's office saying, I'm just going to have to deal with somebody cheating on me for the rest of my life, to finding the most insanely incredible, just empathetic, kind human being as my partner. And I'm now freaking engaged. Like, I don't know how and why and what all brought that together, but I feel incredibly lucky and very happy, and just also proud of myself. And I'm proud of you for both of us continuing to fight the good fight, to find the perfect person for us. And we did that. We both did that. And you did this.
You did. That's something she said right after I proposed. She'd look down at her ring and go, you did that.
You did that.
You did do that. And I'm very proud of that.
I'm very proud of us. And I'm, there's always going to be people who love to say things and have doubts and have all kinds of things. And you haven't had a doubt since the moment that we met.
Nope.
I haven't had a doubt since our first date. And I should say this, my heart didn't have a doubt since our first date. My head took a while to catch up to her, but it's just so cool to be in this moment that we're in right now. And I'm so excited. We don't have anything planned whatsoever. We have no answers to anything. So, that'll be a while. We'll figure it out. And Braden very much looked at me after he proposed and was like, I'll marry you today, tomorrow, or 5 years from now. It does not matter to me.
I'm not busy right now. Like, I'm ready.
You are.
I'm ready.
And we'll figure it out. And we're going to do all the fun, exciting things. And we're going to plan this wedding and our life together like we've done our entire relationship so far. And that is hand in hand together. And I'm just really excited.
Hand and paw.
Hand and paw.
Yes.
Remi's paw right here with us.
Yes.
Anything else you'd like to add before we get out of here?
Gosh, I love you.
I love you.
Fiance.
My fiance. Thanks for proposing to me.
You're so welcome.
Okay, I often tell him this. The single-handedly split best day of my life, because the other best day of my life was the day that I adopted Remi. So they share it now together.
There we go. I'll take that. I'll share a day with Remi. Mm-hmm. Remi's gotcha day.
And and Hazel very much too, but Remi is undoubtedly my soul dog, and they will very much be incorporated into the wedding.
Absolutely, they will.
So very exciting.
Let's just hold them.
Yeah, we'll just hold them. They'll be our witnesses.
There we go.
And my witness, she's my What is that song?
Can I get a witness?
No, Fergalicious. See, this is what happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's let her go.
Just working on my fitness. She's my witness. That's not Fergalicious.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Just working on my fitness. She's my witness. He's my witness. I don't know. Do you know it?
There's a witness out there.
Somewhere
in Fergie's world.
Okay. I love you.
I love you.
I'm so excited for our next chapter together. And thank you for loving me.
Thank you for loving me the way that you do. You make me a better man. And I'm very excited to spend the rest of my life with you.
Hell yeah, you are, baby. You did this.
Cutie.